divine infinite consciousness, and peace to my divine infinite self in all realms and realities. Yo, we're going to be building about the benefits of semen retention and the time span of what you do it for, or how long you do it for, whether it's a day or, you know, a week, you know, whatever, month, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So just giving you my intake of it, or my understanding. I'm pretty much been going through this journey as far as, like, it's a life journey. I think I was born with the whole thing, but I started off, you know, having self-equality or sex early. You know, I knew what I was doing. You know, I was born with an innate gift to know what I was doing. Now, my lower self, I could have did some other shit with it. You know what I mean? But I just knew when I came into the life, I just knew that it was something different. But I had to go through all my trials and tribulations, you know, in order to reach a certain level. But so say, for instance, you've been you know, ejaculating, you know, often, like you can't go more than 2-3 days. Well, my advice is to say go about 4 or 5 days without doing it. You know, if you can go without 2 or 3 weeks without, you know, ejaculating, then go about 4 weeks, 6 weeks without doing it. So you can see the difference, and you will see, you know what I mean, because you'll go through different time periods, as far as, like, okay, where the moon be in certain places or whatever the fuck, but you'll go through different time periods of where you're probably constantly ejaculating or having self-equality or sex or whatnot. And, you know, then you go through time periods where you don't, but you'll do it every now and again. I mean, this is different with every man. Some men are just habitual jacker offers. You know what I'm saying? So to help y'all, you're gonna have to do what I just said earlier. As far as, like, the benefits, you will start seeing clearer. Like your mind's vision won't be as cloudy. You can make a decision quick, like a man should. Or as far as, like, you'll make a stern decision that'll benefit you, yourself, your family, how you're supposed to be. You know, a decision and discernment. So you will heighten your senses. This is just from experience. You know, people probably telling you all kind of shit, like, yo, you're gonna be a higher state of consciousness and this, that, and the third. And these people are still 85%ers. You know what I'm saying? So, but they just hearing what they say, and they're emulating it back to people without having to actually go through the experience. Or maybe they just may be blessed physically, so people who they're talking to will believe them more. But however, it takes time with this. We're dealing with Saturn, you know what I'm saying? As far as, like, you know, a Satyrian what you call that? A Satyrian circle around the plane. All right, and that takes like 29 years, you know? So it gets deep. So through this, you will learn different things, because Saturn will be in different houses. But that's another story. Now, if you go longer than what you normally do, yeah, you will experience all of those clear visions, heightened senses of awareness, like, you know, ringing in the ears more. You could be able to tell which ear, who's who calling or what. That's if you ain't, you know, fucking with the phone all the time. Now, if you're just doing it to get girls or whatever, because that happens, you know, the wisdoms, they do come to you. They will approach you. They will, like, open doors for you. You know, as far as, like, a man who's in his a masculine man, masculinity physically, his feminine aspect will begin to bloom. They'll be able to see it. Everyone will see it. That, okay, he's in tune with his divine feminine. So basically, as you go, you will ascend within yourself. Now you can drop down too, you know what I'm saying, and probably go back, relapse or whatever, but you'll still be built up a little higher than you was before. It depends on how many, you know, jacker offers you gotta do to release, you know what I mean? You releasing like 4 or 5 nuts, man, you just released all your save up, you know, and but you'll be able to produce it every day because your body got testosterone, shit, you got testes, but, you know, it gets more intricate. You have to, like, see where your thoughts are, and you'll know how to, you'll know if you need to release certain energy out you, because you're like a sponge, shit, you know what I mean? Like how a woman, when she's pregnant, she draws all the elements from around her, and when she's breathing in through her nostrils, and the nostrils filter out all kind of stuff, the cells, and the boom, 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 and it goes all down and makes this and forms the physical seed in the body from the atoms and shit that's around her. So it's the same thing with a man when he's got his liquid seed, where it's like, in his prostate, which is the womb for him. He breathes in all these things around him. He senses all these things, and when he's breathing, he's accumulating all of this information, depending on where he's at and where his mind is at, and what he eats, and how he thinks, because what he eats is gonna affect how he thinks, because that makes him other than his own self. Foods, taught the wrong foods mentally and eating the wrong foods physically. So pretty much, like myself, I did a full year right now at 400 days, or I say just over a year, but I guess 400 some days of semen retention. Now, what you will feel is like, you're gonna feel you know what I mean? You'll know what you need and what you don't need, man. You know that as a man, you got the idea, but when you walk through it with the wisdom is the actual action that you take to walk through it to get to the understanding. That's the bridge. Now you will know that you have a little bit more control over your own actions. You ain't gotta worry about nobody else. Now what this is gonna do is gonna heighten your electromagnetic attraction in your heart. It's gonna make you attractive. Not like attractive like sexually, but just attractive. People just want to know, depends on how you want to use your flute in your body, you know what I mean, which is your chakra system, how you want to play your notes. Now, if you want to be in the lower chakras, you can think that way and kind of draw in a wisdom who's gonna draw to you on that level. Or you could draw different things, money or love or just whatever, you know what I'm saying? The thing is though, when you release or when you bust a nut, you busting a nut on things and objects that you don't have no emotional attraction to, so therefore you will begin to develop an emotional attraction or emotional bond. And when you do that, and you're having emotional bonds with inanimated objects, which is like, whatever. I mean, it could be a picture of some sort, you know what I mean, of some titties, or you could be looking at porn, and then you get caught up in that. You might get tired of it in your narcissistic sense because you're still in your lower self, so you may just put it down, but you'll pick it up later if you want it. Now, if you want to completely master it and you don't like how you feel when you're down and shit like that, then you just gonna have to leave that shit alone, just like you do when you're dealing with any kind of narcissistic shit. You know what I'm saying? So of course, it's going to be that hoovering aspect. Just like in your mind, you're hoovering. You'll hoover back around with the thought. Just like a narcissist will hoover back around to you to check you out and see what's up. You know what I mean? Try to see, can I get back in? And this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? However, if it's true love and all that shit, that's a different story. But if it's like, I just need some supply, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you gave to me that I liked it, then, that's what it is. But you will begin to value your nuts, man. I'm telling you that, your balls and your nuts at the same time. You will begin to, you wouldn't want to bust nuts on everything that you see. Any girl that you see on her face or whatever the fuck. Don't give a fuck how pretty she is. This motherfucker could be a demon. She could suck the life force out your ass, nigga, and get all your energy. And you be wondering why you thinking about her so much and she's so fucking confident, because she done sucked all the energy. Man, she sucked all the energy out your ass. Alright? And so, with that being said, and you looking in her eyes and all of this shit, some wisdoms figure it out. Some wisdoms don't. Some wisdoms just be like, I'm just a female and he just like me. Some wisdoms like, okay, I'm a female. Now I'm gonna suck that soul out this motherfucker. And men, they do the same thing when they use their power wrong. A man usually, he's really the truth. So he's supposed to be the truth, like all the time. Now a lying ass nigga is different. Some girls, they don't like lying ass niggas. They'll like a nigga that treat them rude probably sometimes, but it's like, damn, this nigga just be lying. He ain't even true to himself. And if they broken, they won't like the motherfucker. They won't like themselves, so they'll stick with this being or this person because they're codependent on that shit. All right, so, but anyways, though, if you, as a man, busting nuts, that's why I advise to don't bust a nut on nothing that you don't love, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck that you don't love. you know, or that you don't see as something that you need, that's valuable in your life or whatever. You know, busting nuts on regular chicks, you may be horny, I gotta release this. But you really don't have to release it. You just allow that energy to sit down into your lower chakras. You'll push it right back up. Now, the higher consciousness is when your first eye is really truly open. It's not calcified. You've been eating a certain way. You've been detoxing. You know what I'm saying? You at a constant buzz level. You at a constant, like, you hear how that sounds and shit? Like a little bit, the little crickets and the insects and all that. And you know what I'm saying? You at that type of level in your mind, like how you hear that hot thing into something that goes, yeah, you at that point. And so you'll feel it. And so you'll feel, it's like when a TV is on, like when if you was in the 80s, you'll know when the TV is cut on. And you know, when you was growing up, like in my era, you'll know, even if you ain't even went into the room, don't hear nothing, you can just feel it cut on, you know what I mean? Because of the way it was made and shit. I don't know if you can feel it now because there's so many TVs all over the damn place, so many everything, so many fucking whatever satellites and shit, it's just bombarding your signals, so you won't be able to actually tune into that. But this is the way to tune into your higher self now. The higher self is in the higher chakras. We, in our seven major ones right now, with the 8th being right up here at the next octave, then the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, all the way up. You know what I'm saying? You connecting with your higher self. You know, and highest dimensional masters, ascended masters that already beat the board. That means that they done been through every aspect of life on the board. And this is what an ascended master is. It's just a cool motherfucker, man, that came here, know all kind of shit, try to show you, but don't really, you know, don't really get too involved in your shit. They already tried to tell you, like, okay, if they knew and they foreseen what the hell's gonna happen. The Ascended Masters, you know, all they had to do when they reincarnate, you know how it is. They gotta remember shit, you know. But once you do, it's on. But anyhow, I ain't gonna hold it up too much, man. We already at this point. So the thing is this. Don't bust a nut on something that you don't love. That's your lower self when you want to look and you see how beauty she is and shit like that. You know, whatever physically, then you'll release, and that motherfucker's still there in that same image. That energy that you released, thinking about this motherfucker, or looking at this person, or you just recorded on the Akashic records. These mugs, it filters and goes all the way to that motherfucker. So these people in the magazines are histrionics, you know what I mean? They need attention so much, or videos or whatever, that they want you to come to them. That's what a chick wants you to do nowadays. It's like she wants you to come. I don't give a fuck if she says, don't come in my face or may not. I don't give a fuck if they have a fucking gag reaction when it comes to the nut or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? They really want your ass to nut too. It breaks you down. It's your heart. It's connected to your heart. You know, and so this is why men have heart attacks when they fucking and shit. You know what I'm saying? They done allowed themselves to go so low that, you know, they can't get past their heart now. They can't get up to thinking right, you know, and to getting the higher sense, the higher awareness of what it truly is. You know what I mean? You gotta let the seed rise all the way back up to the top, you know? And in the meantime, in between time, you're eating your fruit, you're fasting, you're not looking at porn. You're doing your exercises, your Kegel exercises on your divine eye, because you know you will get to a point where you may have a couple wet dreams if you're not strong enough. Especially if you're dealing with a woman you haven't dealt with one in a while, you got to get your Kegel game up. You know what I'm saying? But don't release though. You know, don't release with her if you're going to have that self-equality. But you're going to be falling in love though. I'm going to tell you that. She gonna fall in love too, because she gonna see you got your control. She's like, damn, I need a motherfucker like that that's not giving dick all the way to everybody. Well, that's not busting nuts on everybody. I don't know if they need to give dick away. But nah, a man will value himself more. You know what I'm saying? It'll be on him. So with that being said, I love you. This is the benefits of when you fast from releasing. And, you know, that's actually at a full year for myself right now. I have been doing it through 15-year period of just on and off, you know, months at a time, you know, things of that nature. So, but now, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you get up to the next level, and this is what it do, you know, and you, like I say, motherfuckers be opening doors for you and shit, you know what I'm saying? Just little shit, you know, you be embodying your true Empress energy, all right? And so, inside, you know what I'm saying? So on the outside, you look, okay, how he is. And the woman, you will attract the real emperor energy that's on the inside of them, that what they know what they want, you know what I'm saying? And so they'll come to your ass. All right, so that being said, get your workout on, get your guns swole. You already know I'm gonna go hit the gym right now. So also you gotta watch out too, man. You will attract other ball, you know, the same men and shit. You know, they instead of saying, oh, that motherfucker cool, some of them may be like, you know, they'll be just close, want to get some of your energy and shit. You know what I mean? But it's cool. But you just gotta like show them, you know, you're a little bit more responsible for that. You're responsible for, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. So you're responsible for how you handle yourself. Alright, so I'm up. I'm gonna go hit this mug and relax. I'll be with y'all later. If you ain't already, you better.